Hey guys, welcome to episode 234 of Be the CEO of Your Own Life. I hope you can hear me well. I am recording from my earpods because my microphone is giving me a lot of grief, and this is the second time that I'm recording this episode, but I am happy I'm doing it again because, to tell you the truth, right after I finished recording the last time, I felt like I had more things to say about this episode. So I guess the universe had your back, because it so happened that my editor could not hear at all my recording. My microphone just gave up on me. So definitely we'll be shopping for a new microphone, and this episode hopefully will have good sound, but I am recording using my earphones. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about one of the tools that I teach inside my 12-week program, Reset Your Mindset. I teach a formula inside Reset Your Mindset that has 5 steps: awareness, taking a pause, sitting in the mud, resetting, thinking again, and deciding. Technically 6. I will focus today on taking a pause. I think that at every episode I talk about self-awareness, so I feel that we've covered plenty of that. But over the next few episodes, I will be talking a little bit more about the other steps, and so I thought I will begin with taking a pause. What it is taking a pause, what's important about taking a pause, what are the benefits of taking a pause. That's like the longest part of this episode, and I'm sure you could probably add some on your own. And I'm also going to give you just some, not super deep, but some strategies to begin to take a pause. And of course, I'm going to challenge you to do that, to go and take a pause. Before we get started, this is the last Monday of January. Can you believe we are ending already the first month of 2024? It truly goes by so fast. I don't know if you guys heard the previous episodes when I was telling you about working on your goals 12 weeks at a time. If you have started that, how is it going? I would love to hear from you. I was coaching one of my clients last week, and she told me that somebody told her at a conference that she attended that they listened to the podcast and that they love it, and that they knew a lot of the titles of these episodes, and it made me so happy. It makes me so happy to hear from you guys, honestly. Like, talking here by myself is no fun. But I do it for you because I am quite committed to providing resources to everyone, and this is the way in which I can do it. So all of that to say, come say hi. Find me in Instagram at Olga's Way Coaching, olgas.way.coaching. Find me on LinkedIn. I manage my social media. I get help from time to time, but I'm mostly there answering to messages. So please come say hi. I so welcome you to do that. You know what? I also heard that you guys like when I give you a little bit of day-to-day what's going on in my life. So I'm going to tell you, I am seated in my guest room right now recording. I think I'm going to sleep here. Do you guys ever do that? Do you ever just travel around your house to a different room for the night? I feel that this room is so neglected because we don't use it often. And so I wanted to stay here a couple of nights to just feel this room and start like decorating it and, I don't know, making changes to it. So yeah, I think this is good. This is a good place to be. Anyways, that's not what has happened in my life lately. This is like as of a decision I made maybe an hour ago. But yeah, happening in my life. I just came back from Florida with my family. We were there for 2.5 weeks. Super nice to be away from winter. I would always want to not be here all winter. So we started the year by going to Florida. It's not a vacation because I have an office there. I do work from Florida. I coached. I hosted that 3-hour workshop on how to set goals. And yeah, we did so. We didn't do a lot, actually. We were at home a lot. The weather wasn't super amazing, but we went to the beach a couple of times. And we, ate out several times, because what else do you do while in Florida? Anyways, we just came back And I think that's maybe why the pause has been so present for me. But I find that I sent this in a newsletter or in an email to my audience this past weekend as well. I find it so fascinating how breaking your routine, even if for as short as 14 days, really changes everything. So having gone for 14 days and coming back, I've noticed I've been paying so much attention to how long it's taking me and really all of us to adapt to being back to the routine that we have every day of the year. And suddenly we interrupted it for 14 days, and it's, it takes a while. And so I thought I would share that with you, because I do think that often when change happens, and it could be instantly and immediately, and we kind of have the expectation that we are to adjust to the change right away, and sometimes it takes a while to adjust. And so I've been really paying attention to how long it's taking me to adjust. So for example, I still haven't gone to buy the groceries I want to. I sent my husband on a few trips, but my fridge is still not looking like, I don't feel like I can check that I've done that. I have plenty of food, don't get me wrong, but it's just not, I don't have all the things that I normally do. I'm also doing a detox right now for the next 30 days, detoxifying my body from all the hormones, artificial hormones I put in my body throughout the IVF cycle. So I think maybe unconsciously I don't want to go to the grocery store because I'm so limited into what I can have. However, coming back to adjusting my morning routine, I'm committed to starting it tomorrow. So going back to the gym and my journaling and all of that. But that hasn't happened. And although our luggage was like emptied the very next day, I still haven't put the luggage where it belongs. Some things. It takes a while to adjust back, and we're leaving again in 2 weeks on another trip. So I think that yes, there is something about change that just takes us a while to adjust. We take longer adjusting, is my point, and making that okay takes away so much of the self-judgment or the resistance or the stress as to how things should be by now. So all of that to say that it's been on my mind quite a bit to take a pause, to acknowledge, to notice what's going on. I have also been journaling in the mornings, just my first thoughts, and I find that fascinating. I'm reading this beautiful book called The Pivot Year, and so it's 365 days to become the person you truly want to be by Brianna Wiest. And so you open the book and there's day one, you start at day one, and there is a message all the way until day 365. This year has 366 days, by the way. So I'll be missing. No, I'm joking, because I didn't start on January 1st. I'll be fine. However, after I read that message, I just sit down and journal based on that. And I have found that so fulfilling to do first thing in the morning. So that's kind of new to me in my morning routine, but it has to do with pausing. Okay, so what is going on with the pause? Why take a pause? Listen, as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner of a business that I'm about to expand in some ways, I am currently opening private coaching for other coaches inside my practice. So other coaches will be able to do private, not for them. They will be offering private coaching within my practice at a lower cost. These are coaches who need more hours of paid coaching to be fully certified with the international organization or the body that certifies coaches internationally. And for that reason, I'm able to offer a lower fee to be coached by them. And so, that is on top of everything else that I'm doing. So it's a huge undertake and I am very excited about it. I already have started assigning coaches to these coaches and I can't wait to hear from you guys. The packages are incredibly affordable for most people. And these coaches come with a lot of great experience in other areas and as they're gaining experience in their coaching. So hugely accomplished humans coming to join me, and some of which have been in the podcast before as guests. So it's fun. But my point is I'm busy, okay? I've got a million little things in my head about my business, about me as a mom, my son, he's developing, my motherhood plans. This IVF didn't work, so my brain's already thinking what's next, what will be a next step for us. My marriage is always something that I want to work on. We're two entrepreneurs, we're two really driven humans with a lot of opinions, and it's not always the easiest of relationships, and we have to like always be working at it. And so those are like the demands that I know I'm not alone with. Like everybody has their own demands, and these are mine. And this is what we do on our daily basis. We're just busy and we're trying to get by. And in the midst of our busy lifestyles, with our very many demanding responsibilities, we become reactive. We become what in mindfulness called an autopilot. We just start existing, right? Where you kind of lose heart for the things you do. And maybe, like, I've never lost, well, not never. I wouldn't say I am losing heart, but I can certainly say in moments of stress or many demands, I am short of patience. I have been short of patience with Mateo this last little while. God, spending all this time with them in a small space every day without me time has made me realize how much I love me time. Maybe that's why I'm sleeping in the guest room today and for the next few days. Just some me time. They won't find me tomorrow morning. By day, I mean Mateo. Chris might be wondering an hour or two, where the heck did I go? But I get it. We have so many demands. So many of them. And it is so easy to be on autopilot and just exist. Just do the same things every day. Be reactive over the same things and like hope for change, but not really knowing how. Or, you know, that's what my clients say. If I just knew how. And then we're in constant movement, not enough moments of pause. And it might sound counterproductive to our fast-paced world and our crazy admiration, let's say, for productivity, that taking a pause makes sense. That's like, it goes against everything we know. But let me tell you why taking a pause is important. And you guys can use this in any aspect of your life. It could be that you want to take a pause at work. Literally take a break for a day or two. Sometimes you need somebody to give you permission. Here's your permission. Take a pause. Take a break physically from working. But how I normally teach this is not so much as like taking a break from work or from reading a book or from doing an activity. Although yes, it applies to those to those contexts as well. But normally I am teaching these as a strategy to stop yourself on the tracks of reactivity as it impacts your day-to-day relationships. So many of us walk around with regret or guilt because we said something we didn't mean to, because we sent that text too soon, we sent that email without rereading it and it sounded harsh. And on a second view, we're like, shit, I should have slept on it. That's taking a pause, right? Sleeping on it. Sometimes we appreciate speed so much that we let go of quality. But in our relationships, quality is what we're after. Quality is how we reward our relationships, okay? So taking a pause, I want you to think of it as a step towards responding to events in your life. I invite you today for a tea and you are already going to church and you are already going to a birthday party and you promised your husband that you were going to be home with your kid so that he could do some work, and then I'm inviting you for tea and you really want to go for tea and you really love to see me and you want to say yes right away, but you have all these conflicting thoughts in your head. Many of us just respond right away, I can't, or yes but, right, like right away. Taking a pause will be the equivalent of saying, let me try to figure something out and then I'll get back to you. It's like giving yourself a buffer. You're not saying yes, you're not saying no, you're just taking a pause. That is one example. But the taking a pause is about self-reflection. It's about giving yourself the space and the time to know how you're feeling, what you're feeling, to let answers come to you, to let the emotions settle, to let your intelligence show up. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. Remember that. So in a moment of heat, you're not very intelligent, you're very reactive, and you're very emotional, and you're likely going to regret what you said, what you did, whatever, what you ate or didn't. So taking a pause is an important step in what I call resetting our mindset. Resetting our mindset is coming back to zero. Like, let's start all over again. The ability to reset our mindset is what makes us so powerful and in control of our own emotions and behavior. People will love you so much more if you master resetting your mindset, because you become so responsible of your actions, so self-aware, so much more paused in everything you do, more thoughtful. You make less mistakes. You pay more attention. So who needs to take a pause? Everybody? Yes, you got it. Everybody. Taking a pause kind of, I'm going to give you the benefits, but it is the noticing there is a fire and I'm just going to see it from here as opposed to walk right into it. Okay? When we get used to taking a pause, which I will walk you through how to in a moment, you become less reactive. And by being less reactive, you make better decisions. Most importantly, you make decisions. You have the opportunity to make decisions from a place of love and not fear. Normally, when we're reactive, is because we became afraid of something, we felt judged, or we felt something that was fearful, and we reacted. I had a client who used to say to me, I had a visceral response and I deleted my Facebook account. And then you have to go through like, oh, actually I'm back. Tell between your tails. What? Tell between your legs. Guys, it's late. Can you tell? But I want you to have these episodes, so I'm recording. Okay. So you're less reactive. You have the opportunity to make better decisions, which is, by the way, why I teach this in Reset Your Mindset. I teach people to manage their thinking so that they can make better decisions for themselves. And so this is the key. Without that pause, I don't know that you're able to process and become self-aware and use that awareness in your favor. Also, by taking a pause, this is when you get to reflect on your own limiting beliefs and thoughts that take you away from what you want. Those limiting beliefs that just uncover so much of what you actually need to work on, not what you think you need to work on. Inside Reset, I teach the 12 different most common mental traps or mental mistakes that we all make. In psychology, they're called cognitive distortions. It means we've walked away from reality. There's about 12 of them. And I teach my clients about them, each category, and I teach them a process to start noticing as they are having a limiting belief so that they can call it what it is. Okay, hold on. This is an all or nothing limiting belief. Therefore, is distorted, is thinking that's distorted, is gone away from reality. So when you do that, you can just be like, oh, that thinking is faulty, is wrong. I can think again. So that's what happens when you're in a pause. You can really think about, okay, what bothered me so much about this evening? This whatever happened this evening, supper this evening with my friend. What felt so heavy for me? That's what the pause allows you to do, to reflect, to think about. Was it what she said? Was it what she did? Or was it the thoughts and the beliefs that I have about what happened? And when you can do that and spot your own limiting beliefs, you make better decisions. Because then you can say, hold on, I almost cut this person off, but really it was all in me, in my head. I felt rejected, but when I think about what that person said, they never said they rejected me. They gave me a point of view and I felt rejected. Just to give you an example, right? It just allows you to think, is the way I'm thinking accurate? Once your emotions are lowered, have calmed down, you can think more clearly. That's what the pause gives you. Clarity, mental clarity. It prevents regret and guilt. It stops you from transferring your emotions onto others. Normally, the thing that you criticize on others is the thing that bothers you about yourself. When you're really frustrated, you walk into a place and you're not getting the service you want, you might say to the person, hey, why are you frustrated with me? When really it's you who's frustrated and the person is not, but you're seeing your frustration in them. That happens when we are in autopilot, when we're in reactive mode and we didn't take a pause to stop and think, this belongs to me, this belongs to them. It stops us from fixing mode. When you're in pause, you go into feeling mode. I'm going to feel my feelings. I'm going to rethink what happened. I might even talk to somebody about it outside of this context. And when you're in a pause, you might notice your urge to want to fix things. This is also something we covered inside Detox. By the way, the group I'm currently running of Detox Your Mind is for moms only. We just started on January 19th. If you want to join it, you can still do that because all the calls are recorded, so you haven't missed much. But if you are not interested in the moms only, you just want to come join my regular Reset Your Mindset, our next group starts in May, and you can already go in the show notes of this episode or on my website and sign up for the waiting list. That way you can receive some cool emails in the meantime and then get notified as soon as the early bird with whatever bonuses I'm giving opens up. So why else is it important to take a pause? It gives you time to regulate, to self-regulate your emotions, your nervous system, to calm down. I don't need to tell you, but when you're not calm, you don't like yourself. Probably nobody likes yourself. You don't make the best decisions. You often feel bad after. So having the time to regulate, to notice like, okay, my nervous system is altered. I'm in fear mode. Taking that pause, sleeping on it, or going for a walk, or telling the person, I need to take a pause right now. It just gives you time to calm down. It gives you permission. You set a boundary between the event, what happened, and what that made you feel, the thoughts you've had. So it gives you time to self-regulate, which is how you begin to gain confidence in yourself and in your ability to be in control over your emotions and your mind. So yes, a positive side effect is that you have more confidence in yourself. And it gives you peace of mind. And I don't know you, but how much will you pay for peace of mind? Taking a pause gives you peace of mind because whatever you decide after, you're like, I thought about it. I gave some thoughts. Even if this decision I'm making ends up being the wrong decision, I can tell myself, well, you made that decision based on the best information you had. You thought about it. You might have consulted with somebody else. Oh man, how many times have I been reactive with like companies? And then I run it over by my husband. He has such a better idea or response. And I'm always so upset that I didn't do that sooner, right? Like, so taking a pause, just not acting when your emotions are high is such a powerful move. Honestly, that's like a CEO move. Lastly, it reminds you of the tools and the support that you can access. A lot of my clients, and maybe you're not a client of mine, but maybe this has happened to you as well. But a lot of my clients tell me, Olga, how can I remember all these wonderful, beautiful tools that you teach me in a moment of heat? Because normally I just feel that in the moment when I'm really anxious and I'm really frustrated, I black out all the tools. And I just get more frustrated that I know the tools, but I'm not applying them. Here's what happens. In a moment of flight or fight, which is anytime your nervous system is being turned on, whether by frustration, stress, or fear, you're not supposed to think clearly of all these tools. Let me open my toolbox and pull out a tool. No, it's not supposed to be like that. Because, remember, your nervous system was made to keep you safe. From what? Danger. So, in a situation of actual danger, you're holding on for dear, of a cliff. Like you're holding on to, like, I don't know, with your little fingers on that cliff. You're about to just fall down. This is not a time to start thinking grandiose ideas about how to solve the world. You have limited resources available to you because you're at risk, and you will black out, like in terms of like intrinsic tools, and what is going to come to you is the thing that will keep you safe in the moment, including surrender, right? Maybe accept your death that's imminent. Or if a bear is following you, a grizzly bear, and you start thinking to yourself, I am strong, I am capable of beating this thing up, I'm going to fight it. Well, you won't survive that. So in those moments of flight or fight response, your brain is supposed to go into negative self-talk. You're small and weak, go hide behind that rock so that you survive. And it's supposed to prevent you from going into like this really complex way of thinking, because you're supposed to be running for your life, or you're supposed to be just, slowing your heart rate and, maximizing all of your body conditions so that you can survive whatever risk you are exposing yourself to. So in those moments of being triggered by an event, you're not supposed to know the tools. You're supposed to take a pause and feel your feelings and let them run through you. And only then can you think clearly again and pull out those tools. So once again, that would be like my last and best, I think, benefit to offer you for taking that pause. Now, how do we take a pause? The way I teach it is by self-containment. So you have gone through self-awareness. I teach a couple of tools in self-awareness for the purpose of this podcast, and to keep it short, you are aware that you're upset at your husband. You are aware that you were frustrated with your child. You are aware that your boss has an expectation of you that is unmeasurable for you, or you won't meet it and you're feeling afraid. Whatever the scenario, you become aware. I am having emotions. And instantly your brain starts working out like, oh, I'm going to tell him. Well, you better hire somebody else because blah, blah, blah. Or he's going to tell me I'm going to get fired. Whatever scenarios your brain starts running, you become aware of that. And your brain wants you to react, and you might start reacting, and you might go really quiet. That's a reaction. Or you might go really angry. You might want to attack somebody. Just when you get triggered, something's happened. You feel triggered. Nervous system has been turned on. Think to yourself, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to sleep on this. I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to go for a walk. Find a moment of being with your thoughts, with yourself. If you've been one of my clients and you know how to do thought work, this is when I would do the automatic thought work. Not the intentional thought work, but the automatic thought work. I would ask you to open a page and let the thoughts out. Write down all your thoughts. One of my good friends was telling me that she's doing the journaling thing with me. And she was telling me that she's noticed how when she's journaling, you can't write all the thoughts you have. So your brain starts organizing the thoughts. And what I've noticed is that not only it organizes the thoughts, it also kind of prioritizes which ones are going to be written by level of importance. And so it really calms your brain down, So write down all your thoughts and give yourself time to feel the anger, the fear, the frustration, the sadness. If you want to talk about it with somebody. If you want to move. And when you feel that you are self-regulated, that you're calm, that you can go through the events and you can still feel like I've thought about it and I'm now clear. I'm not just still angry and acting in anger. I remember I was angry. I'm now just more assertive, right? Like you're not feeling like that drive of reactivity. You're more in control. You feel in control. Like if they challenge you, you can respond. That's when you break that pause and you move into action. So it's just implementing a bit of mindfulness, that self-awareness, giving yourself permission for that buffer, taking that time, that space, having the courage to feel and process in any way you can, talking to a therapist, doing the thought work formula, going to your coach, and then coming back. You don't have to be talking to somebody. The journaling could be such a great therapist or coach. They just you don't ask yourself questions back, but you have a lot of self-awareness by doing that. Okay, so that's super helpful. So that is, my friends, taking a pause. It's so life-giving. I love taking a pause. It is essential for people to be in charge of their minds, which is why I teach it inside Reset Your Mindset. I already told you the doors for the waiting list are open. I hope you sign up. It's going to be fun. It's 12 weeks of coaching and video lessons that you can watch at your own time. It's a combination of those two things. Also in February, we have a few things happening. The most exciting one is the workshop I Am Enough, which is $7. $7, that's it. And that's happening February 29th at, I think it's the 29th, at noon Eastern time. $7 is also on my website, is on the show notes of this episode. And we are starting to take new clients for private coaching to be coached under one of my coaches at a lower reduced rate, making it very affordable. So the way to find out more about that is by booking a free call with me. and I can tell you more about it, and I can hear from you what your needs are, and then I will match you to your coach, who will then give you a free 30-minute session, and then you get to determine if you want to purchase a package of coaching. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you start taking a pause, and if you do, can you write me about it? I would love to know. All right. Have a lovely rest of your week. I hope to see you inside Reset Your Mindset sometime soon. I definitely hope to see you in the workshop I Am Enough, and grab coffee for that free call with me to match you up to your coach. Talk to you guys next Monday. Bye now.